I mean, well, let's don't wishy-washy about it. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Man, I think they got billions of reasons to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard me. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL scripted.
No,
We're going all the way that way. All the way with
all the other conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Big B Daily Show. This is your man, Brien Hanley. I appreciate y'all joining. We are live on TikTok. What's going on, TikTok? And we are live on YouTube. What is happening, people? What is happening? We got a good show coming up today. We got the fraud of the week. I think we probably already know what the fraud of the week is. Although we might slip UConn into that fraud of the week after that game last night of them getting smacked around. Bucks have no shot to win the NBA title. And then the college football playoff changed their format to a 5+7 format. We'll get into all of that and a little bit more in the Q&A section. So we appreciate everybody being here today. Thank you, guys. Again, as always on TikTok, continue to tap the screen. We want to get at least 5,000 likes and at least 30 new follows. So we want to get as many people in the conversation as possible today. So keep tapping that screen for us. We appreciate it. And also click the link in my YouTube, the YouTube link in my bio. Come on over, subscribe to Big B Sports Talk, join the chat, join the live, all that good stuff. Let's get going, people. Let's get going. So fraud of the week, man. I mean, for the most part, I think we all pretty much know what the fraud of the week is. I mean, a lot of things happen. I threw out a little nugget that it could possibly be UConn after that game. But again, Creighton is good. Creighton's a good basketball team. So it's not like, UConn got beat by, I don't know, DePaul or somebody like that. Creighton is an NCAA tournament team, a really good basketball team. They were on the road and they got beat. It happens. Conference road games. But the fraud of the week is clearly the All-Star. It's not just the All-Star game. I say All-Star weekend because I thought the dunk contest was a joke. I think now that no stars basically have the guts to get in it and they don't want to do it, fine. Go out and bring in guys that travel around the country that do dunk contests for a living. Go bring those guys in. So that's what I think. Go out and do that. Get guys out there that actually want to do it and make it fun. The 3-point contest was good. Skills competition was okay. But I just think, and the game obviously was just an absolute fraud. And that's what brings everything else down because the game is the actual showcase. And if the game is a joke, then who cares? I had people last night at my podcast, Instant Replay podcast on YouTube, and saying that the NBA All-Star game was for entertainment. Well, was that entertaining? I mean, that wasn't even entertaining. I mean, it served no purpose. I mean, nobody played hard. Nobody cared. It was horrible. It was just horrible. Yeah, somebody, Redneck Patriot, said, I saved hours of my life by not watching it. Yeah, by far. By far. And look, I'm just over. I get the injury risk factor, But I will throw this out there. When was the last time that you saw somebody get hurt in an NBA All-Star game? And keep in mind, they used to compete at this thing. When it came time to the fourth quarter, the last 7-8 minutes of the game, guys were going hard, trying to win. So when was the last time that you saw anybody get hurt in an All-Star game? Because that answer would be never. So I just think it became a joke. It was ridiculous, and it was absolutely the fraud of the week. So now we have somebody over on YouTube said, Gary Collins says, as far as the game, what do we expect? Does someone need to get hurt? The NFL is playing flag football. I'm okay with watching guys headshots from all over. What, Gary? That doesn't even make sense. Nobody got hurt. Nobody has gotten hurt in an all-star game. You're telling me that you don't want competition in an all-star game? I mean, nobody's gotten hurt in an all-star game. So nobody has gotten hurt. So I don't understand where all this is coming from. I literally don't understand it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think that's part of the generation. Part of the generation. People don't want to compete. Heck, Anthony Edwards from Minnesota, he literally came out and said, I don't think anybody wants to come here and compete. He said that. So if that's the case, scrap the whole weekend. Don't have a game. And don't compare the NFL to the NBA. The risk factor in the NFL, not to mention we've seen guys get hurt in the NFL Pro Bowl. We've seen it. We haven't seen anybody get hurt in a basketball game. I'm not saying they can't. So don't let me catch you saying that they can't get hurt, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we haven't seen it. So it's just, to me, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It was a joke of an atmosphere, and I just expect more. I just expect more. So it was terrible. And as far as the NFL is concerned, flag football, that was 1,000 times more entertaining. It was 1,000 times more entertaining than the NBA All-Star game. Guys out there playing flag football. But they made it that way. You got Eli and Peyton out there diagramming plays. They made it, at least they were making it competitive. And that's all anybody's asking. Nobody's saying you have to go 100% like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Nobody's saying that. But at least make it somewhat competitive. Try to stop somebody. So, I don't know. It just seems ridiculous to me. It just seems just ridiculous. And my man Bill Carmen, he's got it right. Kernan, I apologize. The only All-Star game that is slightly competitive today is Major League Baseball, and that's the truth. You get pitchers out there that usually they're throwing 10,000 miles an hour because they know they're only going to be out there for one inning, and they're letting it go. Hitters are trying to hit a home run every time they come up to bat. Competitive. That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. So, I don't think, like I said, I don't think anybody's asking for them to go out and act like it's the playoffs or it's the most important game of their life. But at least put on a decent show. Again, it is entertainment, and that was not entertaining. That was not entertaining. I think they got to go back to the target score. Well, first of all, what was wrong with target score? Can anybody tell me what was wrong with that? Because I don't think anything was wrong with it. It was competitive. Guys were trying to stop guys. Guys were trying to score. I don't think there was anything wrong with going to a target score format. And then they got rid of it. And then they looked completely ridiculous. So, You better fix it, NBA. You better fix it, because otherwise people are going to tune out. People are going to tune out. I did see the ratings were up, which is amazing to me. But nobody knew that the game was going to be horrible. So nobody knew that the game was going to be horrible. So now you can't have it at the end of the season. The season's already too long. You can't have the All-Star game at the end of the season. This gives them a good break. It gives them a good break, you know. And again, if you don't want to play, don't play. Let somebody else go. Just say, hey, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to play. I don't want to go to the game. But the All-Star weekend is a good time, so that's why people go. Go compete in the game. That's all. I think that's all anybody's asking. Just go compete in the game. Just go compete in the game. So we're going to move on, man. Thanks for the follow, John. Again, as always, man, if you're coming over and you're on YouTube, please subscribe to Big B Sports Talk if you haven't already. We appreciate it. And anybody on TikTok, if you're not following, please give us a follow. Keep tapping the screen. We needed 5,000 likes and at least 30 new follows. So we appreciate it. Then we got somebody. Nate said LeBron ruined the dunk contest. How did LeBron, who never competed in the dunk contest, how did he ruin it? Now you're blaming LeBron. I mean, people will blame LeBron for everything. I mean, people will blame LeBron for their wives cheating on them. People will blame LeBron for higher taxes. People will blame LeBron for everything. Literally for everything. And because LeBron, and I'll say it, didn't have the courage to ever get in the dunk contest because he was afraid that if he lost, that people were going to think down on him. Now it's his fault? That's his fault? I mean, if he doesn't want to do it, that means nobody else wants to? Oh, my God. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. So you blame LeBron for everybody else's decision. Got it. I mean, I don't see anybody giving LeBron their check. Although, are you giving LeBron credit for NBA players making more money? Are you going to give him credit for that? I get tired of the LeBron slander. I mean, say what you want. You don't think LeBron's the greatest player ever. Okay, but don't say stupid stuff. Don't say stupid stuff. So, and you're right, Russ. You're right. Like I said, just don't say stupid stuff. I get tired of it. So, waiting for the Major League Baseball season. Look, we'll get into baseball here in the Q&A section, and we'll talk about baseball. But I'm a Mets fan, people. It's tough. So, it's tough. Going back to the NBA for a minute, the Milwaukee Bucks. Have y'all seen any of the quotes that have come up from Giannis? I mean, the Greek Freak came out at All-Star Weekend and just said, yeah, I don't watch basketball. I don't watch film. I don't watch highlight. I don't watch the opponents. I don't know what they're going to do. I like it. You know, it makes it harder. He literally said that. That's this generation. You expect to just go out there and win without any film study whatsoever. How is that possible? Oh my goodness. Well, you've got it exactly correct. The Bucks seem to have a problem with communication, especially on defense. Plus, they can't defend the three-pointer. And maybe, just maybe, if their star watched a little bit of film, maybe they would understand where rotations need to be. Maybe they would understand what guys' strengths are and what they should try to take away. Just maybe. But they want to blame Adrian Griffin, and they fire Adrian Griffin when this is what's going on in the locker room. Come on, man. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. I know you guys are going to get on me and say I'm an old head. That's fine. But that's what the young generation, I just don't, I don't watch any film. I just go out there and play, and hopefully it works out. What? What are we talking about, man? Oh my gosh. It was just absolutely just come on, Giannis, you got to be better than that. I suppose that's probably LeBron's fault too, though. That's probably LeBron's fault too. You know, Giannis doesn't like to watch film. Let's blame LeBron. Has to be his fault, right? Ah, gosh. I mean, the Bucks played zero defense. I have no their head coach now is Doc Rivers. Every time we turn around, now JJ Redick is right. He's blaming the players. Not only that, have you all seen the quotes that Doc Rivers has said? I mean, Doc Rivers just basically keeps saying, I have no idea why they fired Adrian Griffin. I went to the owners and asked them, why did you fire him? I'm like, if you didn't think he should be fired, then why did you take the job? I don't get it. Oh my goodness, it's insane. But no, I don't think Milwaukee has a chance at all to win. They may even get to the Eastern Conference Finals because the East isn't great. But I do think if the Knicks get healthy, the Knicks are better than them. Cleveland is playing better than them. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. Now, the 76ers, I don't give much of a chance. Even if they have Embiid, he's not going to be healthy. But even if they had him, but they're definitely not a contender. But just looking at those on the Eastern Conference, you know, I do like the Knicks. If the Knicks can get completely healthy, I like the Knicks. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Midnight. If the Knicks get healthy, I like the Knicks. But they got to get healthy. And when Randall comes back, he's got to play like he did earlier and understand he is the number 2 and he is not the number 1. If he does that, I think they got a chance. My man, Pat Cockrell. What's going on, Pat? I think he's got it right. He said it's the culture we live in now. People don't want to hear it, but there's just so much entitlement now across all sports. It's not just sports. Don't just say sports. It's entitlement everywhere from everybody. That's it. You know, and don't get political on me because it doesn't have anything to do with what political side you choose. It's entitlement from everybody. It's insane. It's just insane. And like I said, playing a professional sport, it's a privilege, but you're also, God gave you the ability. So don't be mad. Other people that can't play, they always say that athletes are spoiled and jealous. They're spoiled and all this other stuff. I'm like, come on, man. Look, God gave them the ability that they didn't give us. Blame God if you want to be mad about it. You know, God gave them the ability to play a professional sport. Don't be jealous and calling them entitled and selfish and blah, blah, blah. There are plenty of entitled and selfish teachers that are running around too. Plenty of those. Midnight says, blame your daddy. There you go. You know, there you go. It's his fault. Don't be blaming them. It's not their fault. You know, blame the genetic pool. I mean, that's the one thing I get tired of hearing is that all athletes are just selfish. They're selfish. They're entitled. I'm like, hey, man, everybody is selfish every once in a while. That's number 1. And number 2, you're jealous. I'm jealous because we didn't get the ability. So just say that and make it make sense. Make it make sense. So my man, Pat Cockrell, he likes Cleveland, it looks like. He likes Cleveland. Nope, that's Pearland who likes Cleveland. I think Cleveland would likely beat Milwaukee in a series at this juncture. I think Milwaukee is an accident waiting to happen. I hate to take that from Stephen A. Smith, but I think Milwaukee is begging to get beat in the first round of the playoffs. That's what I think. I don't think Milwaukee wants to be there. I don't think they want to play anymore. I think their season is going down the tubes. And I think they're ready for it all to be over. Matt Long on TikTok, I couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. I wish I could bring it up. Matt Long says Doc Rivers is a terrible coach. Saying Doc Rivers is a terrible coach is an understatement. He is literally the most overrated coach in the history of the NBA. And I have no qualms with saying that. He is the most overrated coach in the history of the NBA. He's terrible. And now he basically didn't want the job. Well, first of all, he sabotaged Adrian Griffin. Because if y'all remember, he was the one that was giving advice to Adrian Griffin because he was a first-year head coach. 30 days later, all of a sudden, he has the job. What the hell is that, people? He's giving advice to a guy who ends up getting fired, and then you take the job? What the hell? Oh, my goodness. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's true. It's crazy, but it's true. Let's move on, though. Let's move on. Because I really want to talk about this next topic, so college football. But again, as a reminder, people, everybody that's on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We appreciate it. And everybody that's on TikTok, what's going on TikTok? Keep tapping the screen. I appreciate y'all, man. 5,000 likes and at least 30 new follows. So please give us a follow if you are not. Matt Long, we appreciate the follow, man. Eric Smith, thank you. Thank everybody that's given us a follow. We appreciate it. So yesterday, it was after the show, because y'all know I love college football. And again, we're on live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time. So come back to the Big B Daily Show, everybody. They came out with the new rules for college football. Finally, the Pac-2 relented and finally agreed to the new rules that the college football format is going to be a 5+7, which basically what that means is 5 conference champions plus 7 at-large teams. So the 5 conference champions, you got the ACC, the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, plus the champion from a group of 5. They're all going to make it. So I like that approach. And then 7 at-large teams. Now, the problem that's going to come in is that the Big 10 and the SEC are going to try to bogart those 7 at-large bids. They're going to try, because if we're being honest, people, they control the college football playoff. They're the ones that control it. So they're going to try to come in and bogart those slots. And to me, it's ridiculous. Because the one thing that I think that's going to happen, for instance, let's just look at it this year. You had Alabama won the SEC. Well, Georgia, we all know, would have gotten one of those slots, and they should have. Then who? Ole Miss? Okay. You want Ole Miss in? Okay. But LSU? Absolutely not. Florida, Tennessee? Absolutely not. South Carolina? Absolutely not. Mississippi State? Absolutely not. So that's my whole thing. Who else from the SEC? Okay, there's 3 teams. But then you go to the Big 10. You got Michigan. Okay. Let's just throw in Ohio State. Okay. Are we throwing in Penn State? Do we really think Penn State was that good? Because I don't. I don't think they were that good at all. And the bowl game proved it. But I don't think Penn State was I wouldn't be. What are we going to throw in Iowa? Hell no. Hell no. Iowa couldn't even score. They got their offensive coordinator fired because they couldn't average 24 points a game. So 2 teams from the Big 10, 2 extra teams, or I guess 2 at-large teams from the SEC and 1 at-large team from the Big 10. So you still have 4 open spots of the 7. And I like that. I like it. Make it reasonable, people. Make it reasonable. Don't just throw anybody in there. Don't just say, because if you want it to just be SEC and Big Ten, then let them do their own thing and everybody else play something separate. Because, and trust me, that alliance that the SEC and the Big Ten formed, that's what they're trying to do. They want to make it, okay, we got our own football league. Okay, well, fine. You can have your own football league, but nobody else is going to play you in anything. If you want to say the SEC and the Big Ten combine forces and they have 30 teams in their little power conference between the two of them, then no, you're going to have to play each other because nobody else is going to play you. No FCS schools, nobody else. So all you get to do is play each other. And because if that's what they want to do, fine. But nobody else should play them. Why they would want to do that, I mean, I get it. It's all about money. It's a business. What doesn't make sense, my man Eric Smith? And because if they're moving towards 2 conferences, like I said, and it's Big Ten, SEC, and then they're going to, for instance, there's going to be some teams that get kicked out. Vanderbilt, Northwestern, you're getting kicked out. Believe me, you're getting kicked out. So it's crazy. 4 conference championships from the same conference. I don't know what that means. Or 4 conference champions. I don't know what that means. I think I get what you're trying to say. I just don't think what the SEC and the Big Ten are trying to do, I don't think it's logical. I think it's silly. I think what they're doing is silly. Include everybody. You know, they said that they were getting together to try to make the college football playoff better. Okay. But if you're trying to do that, shouldn't everybody be included in those conversations? So, I don't know. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. I love college football. I'm always going to watch college football. I don't care. The rules are going to change and all this stuff. I'm going to watch college football. But they're trying to get in the way. They're trying to screw it up. They really are. They are trying to screw it up. So, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. Hopefully, they can fix it. Hopefully, people come to their senses and they understand that this is some of the things that we have to do. So, yeah, you're right, Mike DeRuler. We love the chaos. Chaos is great. You know I love at the end of the season that chaos. But at least make it believable chaos or make it a level playing field as far as the chaos. So don't be dumb. Don't be dumb about it. So hopefully the SEC and the Big Ten don't screw up college football more than it already is. Hopefully it can get back to being more civil, to being more equal, you know, because what they did to Florida State this year was absolutely insane. I get why. It's business. And Alabama, is a much bigger brand than Florida State, more eyeballs. So I get it. So Texas is not going to run college football. Stop saying that. So I get why they did it. I 100% understand, but that don't make it right. That don't make it right, people. Ugh. We'll see. We will see. Pierre Land, Big B, what do you think, or do you think we should go back to the BCS system? Hypothetically, of course, we know the chances of that happening are nil. Yeah, no, they're not going back to the BCS. You're not going back to computers picking, the champion, or just going back to picking 2 games. We're not going back to that. The college football playoff system is fine. If they allow all the teams that should be able to get in and they don't just hoard it for SEC and Big Ten teams. Because, again, who are they hoarding it for in the Big Ten? Like, who are you putting in there? I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, you're not going to put Iowa in there. Penn State was overrated. They're overrated every year. SEC now, I guess if you want to count Texas, even though they were in the Big 12 this year, if you want to count them, but how good would Texas have been if they were playing in the SEC? Would they have had more losses? Who knows? Who knows? So it'll be interesting to see what happens, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Let's move on. Again, as a reminder, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. The Big B Daily Show is here. I appreciate everybody joining. If you're not subscribed over on YouTube, please do. And if you're haven't followed over on TikTok, please give us a follow. We appreciate it. We're going to open it up. Let's see here. On TikTok, let's see if we can make a little grid here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's bring some people up. Anybody that wants to come up. Now, make sense. Here's the thing, TikTok. You better make some sense if you come up here because I will 100% make fun of you if you come up here talking nonsense. I will absolutely make fun of you. But we'll take the conversation wherever we need to take it. What is going on, my man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I am good. How are you?
Good. I'm just getting sick and tired of all these Steeler posts and stuff about Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and they're putting him in Steeler uniforms. I'm like, you know what? Give Kenny Pickett a break with the new OC, new quarterbacks coach.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I'm not giving Kenny Pickett's had his opportunity. I don't want baby hands. Nope. 11 games, 6 touchdown passes. What are we doing?
How about Bo Nix?
Why? What has Bo Nix done? He hasn't played a professional down of football. Why can't we go get a guy that's done something in the league? I mean, we saw Bo Nix against what we think has been some of the best competition in college. He didn't do so well.
Yep.
So that's all. I mean, I'm not opposed.
Would you bring in Russell Wilson?
I mean, I would do that before I brought in Bo Nix or gave Kenny Pickett another opportunity. I mean, if you look at Russell Wilson, he had some bad games last year. Let's not kid ourselves. However, he wasn't playing horrible. When he got benched, he wasn't playing horrible. He had an okay season. Now, is Russell Wilson great? I'm not convinced Russell Wilson can still play. But he wasn't horrid. That wasn't the case. And he's better than Kenny Pickett. There ain't no question about that. He's better than him. So,
is there anybody in the draft you would take right now?
Well, sure, I would take Drake May. I think Caleb Williams. Sure, I would take them. But the Steelers aren't going to be able to get them. So,
unless we made some major trades.
And we can't do that. The Steelers got more holes than quarterback. Quarterback is the biggest hole, no question about it. But it's not the only one we got. So that's the one thing is teams get into this. They get locked in to giving up their soul for a quarterback when you have a team full of needs. Like they were talking about the Commanders trading up to number 1 to try to get Caleb Williams. Well, does anybody think that the Commanders are a quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl? I don't think so. They got a lot of holes to fill. And you can't fill them if you're giving away draft picks. So, but don't be frustrated with Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh. I'm not sure he can play. I'm not positive of that. But if he can do something, I know he's better than Kenny Pickett. I know that for a fact. So somebody said that Russell Wilson is washed. He might be. But if he's washed, then Kenny Pickett is washed, dried, folded, and put away.
I mean, I'll take Justin Fields, but I won't take him for a number 1 pick trade.
Oh, no. I'll take Justin Fields, but it's got to be a number 3. We're not giving up no number 1 pick for Justin Fields. Absolutely not. No way, no how.
Chicago's trying to do that to us because we screwed them with the Chase Claypool trade.
Hey, that's their own fault. They're the ones who decided that Chase Claypool was going to be good. We knew, but no. Yeah, we're not giving them no number 1 for no Justin Fields. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He played with Arthur Smith.
Well, and just reading the comments, I don't think the Steelers want Basket Case Tannehill, but there's been rumors that they would take him because he played with our. I mean, I'm like, if the Steelers get Basket Case Tannehill, I don't know what I'm going to do. I literally don't know what I'm going to do. They cannot get Basket Case. I mean, well, Trubisky was worse. Oh my God. I don't even know how Trubisky's in the league. I really don't. So
I would take Jack Cohn or Ian Book from Notre Dame, who's her free agents right now in the NFL, over Mr. Trubisky.
Yeah. Mitchell Trubisky doesn't belong in the national. Look, if I don't belong in the National Football League playing quarterback, neither does Mitchell Trubisky. You know, we can say that about a guy. Just because he played in the NFL doesn't mean he needs to continue to play in the NFL. He had his chance. He wasn't good. It's time to be out. It's time for teams to be done.
Yep.
You know, so. Well, I appreciate it, my man. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Yeah, the Steelers can't take Baby Hands Pickett as the starting quarterback. We got to do something. So, my man Wakan says, Flip Saunders says thanks for removing him from most overrated coach in NBA history. Nah, but Flip Saunders never coached the type of teams that Doc Rivers did. He didn't coach those kind of teams. I think Flip Saunders knew basketball. And I'm not saying that Doc Rivers doesn't know basketball because he does. He's just not a good coach. But give Flip Saunders some of the teams that Doc Rivers has, and if he doesn't win, then you can go back and say that he's overrated. But he never had that. He didn't have that. So Doc isn't a good coach in your opinion. No, he's not. Doc is not a good coach. Not at all. So, would you like to see Utah and Tulane in the playoffs? Well, Utah, remember, is going to be in the Big 12 next year. So, if they win the conference, they'll be in. Tulane, everybody's forgetting that Tulane lost their head coach. Now, I'm not saying their new coach isn't going to be any good. I'm just saying Willie Fritz was an outstanding football coach, and he went to Houston. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that they're going to be the same. But if they win their conference, I wouldn't mind seeing them in there. I don't mind. You know, I'm not a college football snob that doesn't think anybody else can be in. I don't believe in that. So, Doc is a yes man. I don't know if he's a yes man. I believe earlier what somebody said, my man Eric Smith, Doc follows the talent. Yeah, that's what Doc does. He follows the talent. And he blows 3-1 leads. You know, it's just not great. So, just not great. Yes, Houston is in the Big 12. So, I'm interested to see what the Big 12 is going to look like next year. When they got 4 new teams coming in, you got Colorado with Coach Prom, Utah, Arizona, and Arizona State. And I know, yes, I have been a Prom supporter, but I was one of the smart ones who didn't think they had a good roster. I want them to succeed. It was more flash than substance last year, and I think he's got to do better. I think they got to win at least 8 games this year to get my respect. They got to win 8 games this year to get my respect. I like Coach Prom. I like what he does. I don't mind the flag. I don't mind any of that. As long as you produce on the field, fine. They got better from the year before to this year. You got better. Now you got to take another step. So, and supposedly they upgraded, and hopefully they did, but they got to take another step. They got to take another step. If they take another step, then I'm with it. If they don't, then I'm out. So, no, Prom is not an X and O coach. Not at all. But there's a lot of those guys that aren't X's and O coaches. There's a lot of guys that are just CEO figureheads, good at raising money, really good with boosters. There's a lot of those coaches out there. So 8 wins if they stay healthy. So I like that. I like that, Pepe. That line is going to be freaky. We'll see. Like I said, I'm a Prom supporter. I know there's a lot of Prom haters out there. A lot of them. But I'm for it. I like it. Do what you do, man. Do what you do. And if it works, great. But if it doesn't, we got to be honest and say that it doesn't work. That's all I ask is honesty in all of this. So, honesty. Shedeur for Heisman. He'll be up for it, but you got to sustain it. He was up for it at the beginning of the year last year, but you got to sustain it. I know the hype will be around Shedeur, but I think Noah Fitna is close second as a QB watch out of Arizona. Depends on what they look like with their new head coach in Arizona, but you're right. You're right. A lot of those guys from Arizona hightailed it, though, and went to Washington, so we'll see. He stayed. Good for him. I don't even know why. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Washington was just in the national championship game. But if I'm in college, I go to college in Arizona, I'm not going to Washington. Not to mention, Arizona was good last year. Washington, they lost their coach. They lost a ton of players. How good are they even going to be? Why risk it? I'd stay. So, could we get Shedeur? Who is we? The Steelers? No. Watch out for KU in the Big 12 this year. Chuck, now look, me and you are friends. You come in here every day. I love the takes that you make, but don't you piss me off talking about no KU, okay? Don't you do it, all right? But actually, if we're being honest, yeah, KU is going to be pretty good. KU, I mean, they've been pretty good the last 2 years. I think they might even be better this coming year. And KU is going to be good. So, we'll see. Kentucky? No. Kentucky lost a lot. So, we'll see how good Kentucky is. We'll see how good Kentucky is. They did well in the transfer portal. They got another quarterback. I think that quarterback that they got from Georgia, I think he can play. He was just behind a guy that was just better than him, but I think he can play. So, no, don't laugh at KU, man. You're not paying enough attention if you don't think KU's any good. KU can play. KU can play. They've got a good football team. They got a good coach. He's got it going. What do I think about Missouri? Oh, that's why. That's why you don't like KU. Okay. Now it's coming clear because you're asking about Missouri. Got it. Missouri will be good. Missouri will be good again. How Missouri is good with the coach that they have is crazy. How? Because Derkowitz, he is a horrible football coach. He is horrible. But yet, they have a really good football team. I don't know how they're good, but they are. Now, they should be good. I mean, they're recruiting. You should be able to get any kid you want from St. Louis and Kansas City. You sit right in the middle. You're in the SEC. Missouri's always recruited well. So, we'll see. Steelers need to let Deontay Johnson go. No, they don't. Why would they do that? Why do you need it? You don't need to let Deontay Johnson go. You need Deontay Johnson. We need him. We absolutely need him. You know, it's crazy to say we need to let go. Look, yeah, he had some bonehead stuff that he did last year. No effort against the Cincinnati. I get it. but he's the best route runner the Steelers have. By far the best route runner. So, yeah, you can't get rid of Deontay Johnson. That's not the move. Just bring in a better quarterback. Just do that. No, you don't need to get another wide receiver. He's fine. He's fine. And let's not kid ourselves. Deontay Johnson's good. He's good. He's a good receiver. Just need better quarterback play to exploit what they can do out there. So that's all. Nothing more, nothing less, people. Nothing more, nothing less. We are going to shut this one down for the day, man. I appreciate everybody that came. Thank you guys again. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, Big B Daily Show. We are live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. We appreciate everybody. Do me a favor. Tell a friend. Bring them in. If you're on TikTok, tell some more people. Bring them in, man. Come tomorrow. Come ready tomorrow again. And if you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, go do it. Click on that YouTube link in my bio and come subscribe. Come join the chat. Come join Big B Sports Talk over on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff that we got going on over there that you don't get access to on TikTok. And the good thing about it is it's free. Yeah, you don't have anything behind a paywall or anything on YouTube. It's all free. You know, you don't have to have a subscription or anything on YouTube. Just come subscribe. You don't have to buy it. It's free. So come on over, man. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for joining. We will be back tomorrow. Aloha.